All right, so let's talk about the Great MAGA Schism, or the Great MAGA Mutiny that's happening, and it's a thing in progress. So for anyone that's watching this maybe days or weeks or even months from now, just to note, we are talking at approximately 1 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 17th of July, so things will have changed quite quickly on this.
Yes.
But at the moment, one of the bigger things, there's lots to talk about actually in this segment, but one of the bigger things is that Dan Bongino, the deputy leader of the FBI, has quit, it seems. One of the first things to say on that is that the left-wing, lefty legacy media, sort of, or some of them anyway, are sort of painting it, someone like Karl Kaninsky or something, painting it as just a rage quit. I don't know, I don't think it is a rage quit. He actually hasn't come out and said, again, as of recording, he hasn't come out and sort of done any sort of interview completely explaining his position or anything. I suspect it was less of a rage quit and more of a, standing on principle, albeit they did came out, him and Kash Patel, do you remember that, a few days back, or a few weeks back now, did that press conference where they looked like it was like a hostage video, and they said, no, Epstein did kill himself and there's not much to see here.
Yeah, I believe it was the DOJ leak of a memo that said that there was no client list, there was nothing like that, and then they immediately all had to come out and defend it.
Oh, that's something slightly different, but I'll talk about that. Yeah, it wasn't a leak, it was an official...
I think it was leaked a little bit early.
Okay. Beyond when it was formally released.
Yes, and then it was released and confirmed everybody's worries.
Okay, so there's some sort of mutiny between, some sort of end of the love affair between at least a large chunk of the MAGA base and Trump. Yep. On both sides of the coin, it seems, because Trump keeps doubling down at the moment in not reversing his position or anything. I must admit, I must count myself in that as part of the mutiny. I mean, when there was the American election stream, we were all pro-Trump, weren't we? I've always been fairly lukewarm pro-Trump, pro-MAGA. I'm also on record as saying that, I'm not blindly in favour of him.
I've always had criticisms of him. Yeah,
I've written about my criticisms of his first administration, where he didn't really drain the swamp at all, things like that. Nonetheless, have been broadly pro-Trump, but I can't really support it going further because of this. Because this goes to the heart of it. It goes to the heart of trust and all sorts of things. It goes to the heart of the deep state or the swamp.
It kind of wraps up everything that the MAGA movement was supposed to be against. The only thing it doesn't really include is immigration and mass deportations, which are being used as a talking point to try to distract people from this.
Yeah, I never understand that position. It's like you can only have one or the other. Like you can only have Trump be really strong on immigration, or he can tackle the Epstein thing with truth. You can't have both. Why? Why not?
In that case, why was he campaigning on all of these things then?
Exactly.
And people say, oh, he's been lukewarm on the Epstein files. And to be fair, that is true. You can find interviews from him last year where he was very evasive around whether he was going to release them or not. But it was all of the people that he chose for positions like Dan Bongino, like Kash Patel, who were going hell for leather against it. Pam Bondi and others saying that we're going to release all of this information. Pam Bondi earlier this year saying, I've got the files on my desk.
Yeah.
And then there was the big media blitz around the Phase 1, which I'm pretty sure was supposed to be the only thing that they were going to release, and then everybody said, this is nothing. So they said, oh, it's actually only Phase 1. The whole thing has been a complete disaster from the off, and it really does come across like they're trying to hide something.
Didn't AA post something, I think it was either earlier or yesterday, I can't remember, saying that I think it was only 3% of like the MAGA base were approving of Trump's handling of the Epstein files, like only 3%. And I don't know the pool of that. We need to look that up properly. But yeah, I read that and I thought they're in trouble.
Well, it does go right to the very core of the movement.
Yeah.
One of the big pillars on which the MAGA movement and Trump was elected both times was that he's the outsider who's going to drain the swamp and he's going to actually confront these cabals of sex criminals and paedophiles and things. So to pivot like this, to 180 like this, and immediately start gaslighting, That's not okay. I mean, you're quite right to say that in recent months, or certainly in recent days, or before the memo came out, he sort of started being quite lukewarm and trying to walk it back a bit. But there's also plenty of clips of him from way back, just being quite bellicose about it, saying, no, we will release just unequivocally, we will release the Epstein files. And all that sort of thing.
The one that I've seen referred to quite a lot, it was last year sometime, was he was being asked very directly in an interview, will you release the JFK files? Yes. Will you release these files? Yes. Will you release the Epstein files? And he pauses and he goes, yeah. Well, we'll release some of it, because there's a lot of lies in there. It's like, oh, okay, just these ones. He starts to get all cagey about.
Yeah, right. So, of course, you can imagine that all the lefties, like the legacy media, MSNBC, CNN, people like Jen Psaki, Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
Stephen King's one was interesting, telling MAGA to grow up, that it was all a conspiracy theory. So apparently, when it comes to potentially defending an international cabal of sex offenders who abuse minors, this is the one thing that Stephen King and Donald Trump can agree on. So that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, you can imagine that they're all for it because it undermines Trump in any way, it's a political problem for Trump. But it's interesting that a lot of them go with the angle that Epstein, there actually isn't that much to see. There isn't. It was a hoax, but nonetheless, isn't it good that he's fallen out of love with his own base and all that sort of thing?
They're cheering that on.
Very interesting. I was going to play a bit of Carl Knitsky, but I can't bring myself to do it. I won't put our audience through it. John Stewart, obviously.
Don't put us through John Stewart.
People like that. Don't say his real name. People like that.
Hope not hate might tell me off.
Obviously loving it. But there's loads on the other side. I mean, loads. A lot of people that you would expect to be Trump loyalists are just not having it. They're just not having it. People like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Matt Walsh, Tim Pool, Candice Owens, all these people being like, what? Are you kidding me? Even Charlie Kirk, for a while, he went along with the line of let's just talk about something else, but then quite quickly pivoted back to, actually, no, this is important.
Didn't he say recently on his show, we don't want to talk about I trust my friends in the government or something?
And then one day later went back to actually,
oh my God.
I think he felt the way the winds were going. I don't know. I don't really watch Charlie Kirk, to be honest.
You might have realised how stupid the sentence "my friends in the government."
Yeah, I know. I
sounds.
trust my friends in the government. It's like,
okay, so either you are a bought and paid for insider, or you're actually dumb enough to think the government is your friend. Neither one is good.
Well, that's the Ben Shapiro line. I trust Kash Patel. I trust Pam Bondi. I trust the president. Okay, all right. But it's not just the chattering classes.
Yes.
People like Tucker Carlson or whatever. It's actually people like, Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. Obviously, Dan Bongino has got some sort of issues, of course. Tim Butcher, a Republican from Tennessee, has gone on the record saying, no, I just don't trust Pam Bondi. And, but it's more than that. Mike Johnson, the Speaker in Congress, has expressed doubts. He's just not going along with the Trump line of let's stop talking about this. And in fact, the Democrats would only need a small number of Republicans in Congress in order to force a bill to make the White House legally, formally have to release the files. And they've got them. Apparently, they've got the numbers.
Well, see,
they only need like a few, and they've already got 7 or so.
I was reading earlier that they've got that a bill drafted or are drafting a bill for that, and I read that it was Mike Johnson who was trying to block it.
Well, they did block a vote just the other day. But it will keep coming up. This isn't going to go away.
Oh, of course.
The fact that Trump wants it to go away, it's not going to. I mean, I wrote an article a few years ago, 3 years ago, saying we won't forget this. Lots of people want it to be forgotten and just swept under the carpet. It's just a footnote in history. But it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be because the mutiny is quite big. Like I say, all these lists of names from Joe Rogan to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Right? They're not letting it go.
And it's also for the Democrats. It's a slam dunk for them.
Well, right.
It's a complete slam dunk. Not to say that loads of MAGA Republicans are going to switch sides all of a sudden. I would never, ever recommend anybody vote Democrat, but I would expect that a number of people are going to go, well, I was lied to again. I was lied to, so they might just refrain from voting or potentially try and vote for a third party like Elon Musk's America. If that even goes ahead. I mean, Musk has been saying that he wanted to primary people because of the deficit spending. But it might actually be this that gets people primaried in the midterms.
Yeah. One other thing to say, people that are on both sides of the aisle on this, there's some people that I've found suspiciously silent. Haven't seen J.D. Vance talk about this much. Kash Patel seems to be remarkably quiet at the moment.
And he's already made statements on.
We're in a moment in time. He has made statements, but he's not sort of come out and done a long press conference backing up Trump or whatever, has he? A number of people seem to be interestingly quiet about it. But okay, so just a super quick rundown, if anyone doesn't know, of some of the chronology of some of the things that have happened. So there's that phase 1 thing where Bondi gives a bunch of right-leaning influencers this dossier thing. It's phase 1.
Phase 1. Yeah. They all took a photo, didn't they, outside?
And it was a complete nothing burger.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll wait for phase 2 then.
Right.
It was information that we already had, except it was massively redacted when we already had the unredacted versions. Like, seriously?
I mean, like a number of people were like, okay, phase 1, all right, so, okay, it's a nothing burger, but we'll wait for the big reveal, the big phase 2. And then she came out, didn't she? She said it was on her desk. They've walked that back. She didn't literally mean it was an actual list was physically on her desk. It was just the files in general, sort of metaphorically on her metaphorical desk, sort of a thing, but okay. And then... so once that memo came out, what is it, something like 10 days ago now, where it just said, there's nothing to see here, basically. He did kill himself. There is no client list. And that's it. That's the end of the story, really. Obviously, that's weird and frustrating. But the very next day, when there was some sort of press conference in the White House, and someone asked Trump about it, or someone was asking Pam Bondi, who was sitting 2 seats down from Trump, about it, and Trump interjected saying, are you still talking about Epstein? And it's like, that was when I immediately, like, this is a sea change.
This is a weird,
It's a sea change. One, it was only 1 day ago, for a start. What do you mean, are we still talking about it? It's still in the news cycle. Yeah, we're still talking about it. Yeah, we've still got questions. She never told us whether he was an intelligence agent, whether a US or an Israeli one. Yeah, we're still talking about it. Yeah,
or like many attached to a lot of different intelligence agencies, all banding information between one another.
Sure. Yeah. An asset, whether he's actually a full-blown employee or whether he's just on their books in some more informal way or whatever. You haven't addressed any of that. So yeah, we're still talking about it. So that gaslighting was immediately odd to me. That was a red flag to me.
Yeah, massive.
It was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I almost couldn't believe my eyes and ears when. But anyway, since then, it's only got worse. In fact, we've got I think it's a clip from that actual conference. But yeah. Let's listen to Bondi here.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did
Turn it
an
up a bit,
interview on
Jack.
Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute...
that was the key thing for me. We have no knowledge about that. We'll get back to you on that. Oh, liar. I'm not buying that. No, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know about it and you'll get back to us? Nonsense. Don't treat us like we're children, like we're morons. You don't know anything about that. That's sort of at the heart of this thing and has been since the 90s when he was first prosecuted. Yeah. You don't know about that, well, you'll get back to us on that.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Treat us with such contempt.
Yeah.
So, okay, going forward, it just seems Well, so Trump keeps pivoting because at first the line was there are no files.
Yeah.
Now it seems to have pivoted a bit to something a bit different, that there might be files, but they're not credible. Trump in the last few days
They're a
has
Democrat hoax.
Yeah,
is the new
and
line.
that as well. There aren't any. Oh, but there are, but it's a hoax and they're not credible. It's like, what? Make your mind up.
There's been numerous administrations have handled these files over these. When Epstein actually died, it was under Trump's administration. And it was 2019, so this was almost 3 years into his administration as well. So at least there's a 3-year grace period there, Donald, where those files were your guys doing it, surely.
Yeah. Another thing he keeps saying is the guy died years ago now. Don't care, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John Kennedy was murdered decades ago. Doesn't matter. The truth will lie in wait for all time. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Very good.
So the truth's not going anywhere. Where people keep asking the questions, he's sort of basically attacking his own base. So let's listen to this little clip. You turn it up, Jack. Is it possible?
I don't understand. I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier,
Don't care.
which was all
Keep going.
fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something.
It's bad people. It's always bad people.
We're bad people for wanting to know the truth, and it's boring. Neither of those things are true.
No.
Neither of those things are true. If anything, you can't call it boring.
There's nothing there, but it's boring.
Yeah.
He's just throwing out old talking points
It
to
is.
try and distract. He's trying to throw out, people, Steele dossier, fake news.
Yeah.
These are talking points and lines that you've been using for years. That
Remember, MAGA is a cult. When they all, MAGA is this cult that they just follow the leader and that's it. You don't ask questions. You don't, hold accountability in some way. Remember that.
To equate this with real hoaxes, like the Russia thing, what are you doing, Donald? Why are you doing that? Only bad people want to know the truth about this. Are you sure, mate?
Trafficking's pretty high issue.
Yeah, and it's a hoax. Oh, is it?
But it's boring.
Oh, is it the hoax? That island is a hoax, is it? His 90s conviction was a hoax. Is it? Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, that was a hoax.
So she's
it
in
was the
prison
mid
for nothing.
2000s where he was convicted for, I believe it was, trafficking children at the age of around 12, as young as 12 at least. That was in, I think, 2007. Conveniently, just a few years after he and Trump had a public falling out, because they'd been friends for a very long time up until that point. And for that, he was given a sweetheart deal where he only had to serve, I think, 12 months, and that might have been commuted. And when asked why that was, I believe the Attorney General or the Judge Acosta said he was told that it was because Epstein was intelligence.
Wow.
All of these coincidences, you have to, and just points of fact, you have to try and magic away if you want to turn this into something innocent where the administration's telling you the truth right now.
Yeah, they're creating a false history. Trying to.
I mean, there's plenty of other stuff as well, like the fact that Epstein was employed in the 70s at the Dalton School as a maths teacher when he had no qualifications to do so, was given the job by Bill Barr's father, and then in the mid-1980s gets picked up by this mega group and people like Les Wexner, and just handed over a load of massive, like billions of dollars worth of hedge funds accounts to manage.
That New York mansion was just Les Wexner's. Just
sold it to him for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
when he
course,
had no right, no qualifications or experience in any of these fields, just keeps getting given these opportunities. And then all of a sudden, by the late 80s, early 90s, he's a wealthy New York socialite rubbing shoulders with Donald Trump and Clinton.
That was all an Obama conspiracy theory, apparently now.
Yeah.
So,
You've got
Ghislaine Maxwell being in jail then, like in prison, what is that? Is it just
the hoax.
The connections to Robert Maxwell directly through Ghislaine.
The Lolita Express and its logs.
all of that.
That was all a hoax. Just a conspiracy theory.
Boring stuff, though.
The witness testimony of all the survivors.
Yeah.
It's all a hoax.
The interviews.
Let's listen to Trump answer some questions here in the last day or so.
He said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you
It's not the Attorney General, no. I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. Some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with...
I bet you would. I bet you would, mate.
That's something else he keeps trying to pivot onto this idea that, we've had the most successful administration, most successful 6 months ever. People are saying I'm going to be the greatest president of all time. Consider that my legacy. It's like
it's all boring.
What's
boring?
It's boring.
It's boring.
What's the achievements? Like, how is this the most successful presidency of all time so far? These first 6 months. What are these achievements that he's pointing to? Like,
let's have one more clip.
Okay.
Let's have one more clip.
And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information. We went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well.
Yeah. Okay. He says BS. People that still want to know about it are weaklings. It's a scam. What? They're weaklings. They're doing the Democrats' work for him. He doesn't want their support anymore. Whoa. It's like it really is burning through political capital.
Yeah, this is it.
Before the midterms.
Crash out.
If it was after the midterms, he's absolutely got nothing left to lose at the ballot box. It might make a bit more sense, like mask off, but there's still the midterms to go.
I think what they're hoping is that this time next year, everyone will have forgotten, and that the news cycle will have dragged people along into this next current thing and the next current thing after that, and that there'll be something, and they'll start to throw out red meat to the base just in time for the midterms. This time, if you vote for the Republicans, make sure that we get the House and the Senate, and we'll make sure to get those millions and millions deported every year. When, Biden imported illegally 10 million people into the country. The upper limits of what we've been told for mass deportations is they're aiming for 1 million a year. That isn't even a drop in the bucket. It needs to be if Trump plausibly, incredibly says before the midterms, do this and we'll get 10 million out per year, and they actually are going to go through with it and actually get 10 million out per year, maybe then consider it. Maybe then. But if they're not going to do that, and they can't do that, or for whatever reason, then there's no reason to just continue to believe lies.
Yeah.
Well, for me, this was the last straw in the whole drain the swamp thing. Again, I've been on record years ago between the two Trump presidencies saying he didn't really drain the swamp first time round. Yeah. That's a worry for me. This time now, there's nothing left. If you're not draining the swamp, or even attempting to, or actually gaslighting so that you actively don't, then you are part of the swamp.
I heard as well that he got ratioed hard in his own platform.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is so embarrassing.
People aren't buying it because it's the same playbook that the Democrats will do. Something like, off the top of my head, just one example, trying to say that January 6th is as bad as Pearl Harbor or 9/11. No one's buying that. No one's buying that. Just like this, no one's buying it. So, I saw this tweet, the classic, the classic Stalin thing of just trying to rewrite an alternative history. And it seems like what happened was when they put that memo out saying he killed himself and there is no client list, Trump expected everyone, perhaps not his political enemies, leftists and stuff, but expected his own base, everyone on the right, everyone in MAGA, to just immediately swallow that and go with that line immediately. And then he obviously thought a little bit of berating from Daddy will quieten them down and we'll move on. It's not working. It's not working. I'm here for it. I'm here for the mutiny. I'm with Megyn Kelly. I'm with Steve Bannon. Tucker. No, this is important. People say, oh, let's just move on to the more important things. In a sense, this is the most important thing because it gets to the heart of trust, as I say.
Yeah.
Without that, governments in so-called free democracies are legless. How could we possibly trust you on anything else if you're going to do this on this topic?
So right.
So okay, well, I'll keep doing bits on this. I'm sure this isn't the end of the Epstein saga.
For one, Trump keeps bringing it back up. When he's so eager to move past it, he then keeps going on Truth Social and blasting his own followers for caring about something that his platform was built on. Because as you say, it's not just specifically, although this is obviously very important, about the idea that there is an international cabal blackmailing one another, using video footage and other things surrounding, sexual assault of minors. It's also to do with the deep state. It's also to do with political corruption. It's to do with national sovereignty, the idea that if foreign governments are potentially using this as leverage, then your nation is no longer sovereign if its leaders are being blackmailed to pursue the aims of other governments or doing the same to other governments. It's all to do with everything that MAGA was based around. Whilst at the same time, you have all of these talks of another betrayal if they go ahead with some kind of farm worker program, which will effectively be some kind of amnesty. Tom Homan has said that there's going to be no amnesty, but is Tom Homan in charge of whether that legislation gets put forward?
See, Tom Homan's actually, I see him at least make one comment on the mutiny side saying we do need transparency, actually. So lots of people are not having it, even people, in essence, in Trump's inner circle. Because one other thing to say, if there was genuinely nothing to it, if the Department of Justice had genuinely looked into it all and saw that there genuinely was no client list and there genuinely was nothing to it, then what you would want is either Bondi or preferably Trump himself do some sort of long-form interview with someone like Tucker, someone like that, or Joe Rogan, sit down and do an hour or two and do a full house cleaning and say, look, this is what we genuinely found. But they didn't do that. It was this one-line memo, and the very next day, you're a weakling and a bad person if you don't just swallow that whole scale. Yeah. And that's not what's been done. And the idea, there's pivot upon pivot here, isn't there? Like you say, where he wants everyone to stop talking about it, but he won't stop talking about it. Because you could go down the line of just a pure stonewall. Never ever tweet about it or Truth Social about it. And whenever anyone asks you a question, immediately shut them down saying, I'm not talking about that. Could do that. It wouldn't be great. It really wouldn't be great. But I mean, he could do that. He's not doing that.
They didn't even have to have a memo written up. They could have pushed it back until maybe the midterms.
Until after the midterms,
they could have
at least.
said, the Dems are holding us back from releasing phase 2. We really want to get this through to you. You've got to keep voting for us so that we can get phase 2 out so the dirty Dems don't block it. We want to get the truth to you. But no, they
what a load of liars.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot with this.
Yeah.
As I say, with the pivot upon pivot, it seems that you can only imagine some sort of strategy meeting. I mean, Stephen Miller has been quite quiet on this, hasn't he? Some sort of strategy meeting where they're like, first of all, change the subject. Just try and change the subject. That hasn't worked. They've tried that for a fair few days now. Hasn't worked. Okay, next strat is to discredit it. Say, if there's any credible documents or evidence, then Pam Bondi is allowed to release it. Saying, in other words, that what they've got so far isn't credible. That's quite a big pivot. From saying there is nothing at all, that doesn't exist, to we're looking at what is or isn't credible. So that's quite a big pivot. But,
Massive.
okay, so I'm sure this story will roll on. and we'll keep bringing it to you because I don't owe the Trump administration any loyalty. I'm honestly interested in the truth. I think a lot of people are. A lot of people in the MAGA movement are honest, decent, working class people.
Yeah.
And they just want the truth. They don't want a cabal of sex criminals to be telling them what they aren't allowed to say or think about or question. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you would like to watch the full uncut version that is also uncensored, head on over to lotuseaters.com to find out more.